Morning, guys. I made y'all breakfast.
Okay, who was that?
Was that Connie?
Am I still asleep?
I was thinking the same thing. Connie Myers?
I don't think so.
I don't know. There's no way that was Connie.
I smell bacon.
Believe me, I was just as puzzled as they were. Bo was laying diagonally across the armchair. Ricky was still sprawled out all over the sofa, almost awake, but still in scratching mode.
Where's Bobby?
I asked, my head thumping like a stub toe. An indistinguishable moan rose from behind the sofa. Two of us laughed, two said nothing. One just moaned in agreement. We were not young dudes anymore. We'd completely forgotten that last night. 2 minutes later, I was taking a piss and Bobby just popped in brushing his teeth as if nothing was happening. You know something I don't understand? Why is it that we can't seem to get it through our thick skulls that we're not kids anymore? It felt a bit uncomfortable, but I was too nauseous to say anything. I just went with it and continued to relieve myself while looking another grown man straight in his eyes. I can't get drunk on beer. I gotta take a shot every once in a while. That's been my alma mater for the past 20 years. Well, you know what? The next time I say that, I want one of you to square up and kick me right in the ass. Not literally, though. The way I'm heading, I'd probably be recovering from hemorrhoid surgery or from a botched colonoscopy. Bobby was so freaking funny, but the thought of laughing made me sick to my gizzards. Oh, don't make me laugh, dude. I'm liable to shit and puke the same time. Hey, you guys seen Bake? Huh? What? Baker. You know, the man of this freaking house. I don't think he's here.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
We began to scatter like roaches. Rick was double-checking the blankets and looking behind the furniture. Bobby was sneaking around the house, checking random rooms and Connie's underwear drawer. Dude, hey, I had to look. You know me. He's not here, man. Shit. I'm calling him. Wait, fellas. He came home last night, right? Remember? We were all watching the highlights and he was showing us how to turn on the TV. Remember he said, well, if that don't work, just push one of the other two buttons.
Yep, that's right.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, yeah. That was so much funnier last night.
Wait, shh. Guys. There were footsteps coming down the hall. Like a bunch of 10-year-olds, we began to panic, hiding ashtrays and plastic baggies.
Here she comes.
She's coming. What are you doing? We're not kids. Be cool. I realized all of that just as I was saying it out loud. Even still, I kept folding the blanket I was holding. As the footsteps drew closer, I began folding the blanket faster. I finished it quickly and tossed it neatly on the sofa. I had a few extra seconds to spare. I quickly kicked a few popcorn kernels under the sofa. Why are you still cleaning up if you're such a grown man then, Mark? It's called respect, nut, that's why. I hissed in my own defense. Mark's not worried, he's always been her favorite. You, I hissed as giggles snuck out around the room. Oh shit, here she comes. Shut up. It's not completely unusual to see grown men act in such a way. When adult men cluster together, it's sort of the same thing that women do. It's an odd thing, really. I would often tease my wife over the exact same sort of thing. Whenever her girlfriends would come over, or if they had a girls' night out, I just had to tease her about how it takes a full day or two for her to calm down and grow back up. I would poke fun at her about how it would take approximately 2.4 days for her voice to drop back down to an adult octave. So there we were, a group of fat, hairy, bearded schoolboys giggling and scared to death of this tiny little lady coming down the hall. It's not like she was coming with a switch to tell us to all get in bed or anything. This was a bit different, though. This was Connie Myers, also known as Crazy Connie. But don't you dare ever tell her I said that. Connie was mean and crazy, but not crazy like the kind of girl who freaks out because you slept with her sister kind of crazy. Connie was genuinely crazy. She could stop a packed high school house party dead still with her tone of voice. She was famous for it. She had no remorse for it either. She never apologized. In fact, she'd never mentioned the incident again, almost as if it never happened. Several people who refused to put up with that sort of behavior would soon learn to regret ever standing up to Connie. The girl was tiny, but fought like a man. She had no siblings. She was this adorable, cute blonde with light freckles and green eyes. I mean, like Kermit the Frog green. She was freaking hot, don't get me wrong. Dangerous, though. She was the type that would seduce a man and then tell his wife just for fun. Now, that never happened, but I don't think anyone ever tried to hit on her because of that sort of thing, if you know what I mean. She was an only child from a wealthy family, not spoiled or anything. Her parents were absolutely normal, well respected. Connie was just mentally ill. She was just so darn cute, and she had the sweetest smile you can imagine. That smile was what made her so scary, and that smile was why she never got committed. The light, soft footsteps were just outside of the door. The fact that they were light and fluffy sounding made the whole thing just that much more terrifying. Baker, our mutual friend and husband to Little Miss TNT, practically begged us to stay the night. We all knew better, but we just couldn't say it to him. Fellas, look, I know. The last time y'all came over, it wasn't pleasant. Wasn't pleasant? She tried to kill you with a garden rake because we were a half hour late coming home. Man, that was 15 years ago. Connie's grown up and I've grown up. We've all grown up. Trust me. Just follow me to my house. I have plenty of room and we don't have to try to round everyone up in the morning.
He's right, guys.
Oh. Okay, I'm sold. So Baker pretty much talked us all into leaving our cars at his house and all of our luggage in his den. We were all impressed that Connie allowed him to have a den. And we all decided that since it meant so much to him, we would stay at his house. But I digress, as soft, fluffy, energetic footsteps begin to grow ever closer to the den door. I imagine a castle with a huge gated bridge, giant trolls holding the doors. And then some cute, tiny anime kitten is gently padding up to the gate with a backpack full of government-grade plastic explosives. The footsteps pause just outside the door. 15 years ago, the door would have swung nearly off its hinges and crashed into the opposite wall. The doorstop would have given in and collapsed as the knob would have sank inches deep into the wall and lodged there so that the door would swoosh open and then suddenly stick dead still to the wall. I'd seen that exact thing happen enough that I wondered if maybe she'd practiced and polished the act down to perfection. Sort of hanging out.
My freaking head is killing me.
You're dehydrated.
We're not kids anymore.
Probably need some water.
Bathroom is a ghetto. Shut up, man. We all pretended to be talking, to at least put on a front that we were not somewhat terrified. Finally, we heard a light. We all just sort of choked up and began staring at one another, both in disbelief and fear of the unknown.
Is everybody decent?
Yeah, we're all dressed. Come on in. I said this, then looked around to make sure we were all dressed. The door squeaked open, and Connie's cute little slender face poked in.
Sorry to tell you, but BB got called into work. He said he'd try to make it back before lunch. I made ham and eggs and toast if y'all are hungry.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Connie,
I'm hungry.
we'll be there in 2 minutes.
That's okay. Take your time if you want.
After the soft, light footsteps were a safe distance away, I couldn't help myself. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's not Connie.
What the hell is that? What? Not her.
Oh my God!
So wait, did she
Coke and
ever?
beans.
Oh, God,
This coffee's amazing.
Did your wife ever get the?
I know
That's
you
right.
said yours. Connie's great. There's only a few times in life.
Did your wife get the job
too
you're
high
talking about?
something
You know,
like
the-
that. You know, I mean, it's just like any other job.
It's kinda
sweet too. I mean, I like the taste.
you had
in
in
certain
Turn
situations.
it up.
No,
This
she
is
didn't.
perfect.
The breakfast was delicious. Scrambled eggs, homemade hash browns, toast and jam, and of course a nice slice of ham on the side for us all. This wasn't just any old ham, though. It was the juiciest, most tender ham I've ever eaten. We were all polite and thanked her for breakfast. The usual suspects left their plates just sitting there and quickly left the scene. Bobby and I, of course, offered to help with the dishes.
No, but thank you. I got it. Go play, Phyllis. You know you want to.
She wasn't being fake or plotting or anything. She was genuine. There was this, and forgive me please, this devil's suit we called Crazy Connie, with the sweet soul of a good mother. It gave me a warm feeling all over. Maybe people do change. As the rest of the guys made their way back to the den, I gave a good look at the new and improved Connie Myers, or rather Miss Connie Baker. The new attitude fit her well. Pretty, sexy, and now sweet. I had to shut my thoughts off right then and there. Thanks again, Connie. That breakfast was fantastic. She was so appreciative. I asked again if she needed any help. She shooed me away to the den. She was definitely different. Completely different. A memory popped back into my head as I headed down towards the rear of the house where the den was located. It was this vision of me and the guys last night, chanting, chastising, and pressuring her husband, Baker. There was this younger woman hanging onto his arm. We all thought he could use some action, all of us assuming his home life was still a great deal of stress to him. I began to feel guilty, but hey, how was I to know his wife was no longer a crazy bitch? I still felt guilty, though. We practically forced her husband into a cheap hotel room with some cute young thing. I guess we all figured he needed it. Oh well. Sorry, Connie. We all laid around digesting breakfast, like a handful of old turtles on a log.
I got one better than that.
Oh, God, man.
When's the game on?
Are we 12?
Game.
We're not going to game. We have wedding to go to.
Oh, no, I don't want to go to
Well,
a wedding.
I'm going to take a shower and go ahead and
No,
get dressed.
we're too old for this.
He should have got it right the first time.
I know.
This
and
is
he
the
drug
third
us all
time.
through
Why
that
don't
one
they just
too.
save us all the trouble and elope? Because it's her first wedding. I forgot he's marrying his daughter's best friend, right?
She's not that young.
She's only about 4 years younger than you. Ricky said she was 22.
And more like 32. That's not too
How
bad.
do you manage to snag her?
Oh.
Hey, she got some baggage, I can promise you that. Probably crazy like Connie. What?
Oh.
What? It took Ricky a few seconds to turn around.
Okay. I brought you guys some towels, and you're welcome to the master shower up front, and there's also one in the pool house.
It was hard to make eye contact with her. I forced myself to do it anyway. She didn't seem overly upset. That made me feel really sorry for her. Instead of hurt, her eyes seemed to say, "Yeah, I guess I deserved that." It was the way she walked away. Not at all angry. It was as if she were someone who didn't make the softball team, but really didn't like the game anyway, but really wanted to be part of the team.
Are you stupid?
Damn it, Rick.
Damn it, Rick.
Yep. Very, very stupid. Rick answered, forcing his head down in shame with a warm, fresh towel. No one said a word as he slumped over to his suitcase, grabbed the handle, and exited the house through the rear door. We continued to sit in silence until we heard the door to the pool house slide open and then shut.
Oh, no.
Idiot.
Blaming idiot.
I'll go talk to her. And while you're doing that, I'll go and drown myself in the shower. This is going to be awkward. I'm getting a hotel tonight. As the gentle hiss of shower heads began to fill in the silence, I made my way towards the front of the house to talk to Connie. I could hear the sound of a television program somewhere off to the right.
And press. Make sure you feel that burn all the way down to your thighs, all the way down to your ankles, and hold it. Hold it. 5 more seconds, and 4, and 3, and 2, 1.
Whoa. I was not expecting to see what I saw. I was expecting to see Connie, maybe sitting crossways in a chair, with her head against her hand, staring out of the window. When I rounded the corner of the far right guest room, my first thought was, oops, I'm sorry. The second was, oh, she didn't see me. The third was, please keep doing that for just a few more seconds. Connie was doing some sort of back bend. I'm not going to go into details, but I'm assuming it was glute day. She didn't see me because of the angle that I approached from. The girl was ripped with muscles. She was wearing a loose pair of shorts and, well, I'm rambling. Anyway, the point is, she hadn't noticed me yet. But I was trapped in a strange position. If I walked away, she would surely notice that I was there, and she would bust me trying to slip away. If I stayed there, she would eventually notice me, and I could just pretend I'd just walked up. If I spoke up and interrupted her, well, she was doing a pretty intense bend there. I could startle her and she could hurt herself. I had no choice but to watch.
Hey, Mark.
Connie! You idiot.
I have to get my workout in this morning so I can have wedding cake tonight.
I just grinned like a toddler. I may have drooled like one also. She downed a half bottle of water and sat up cross-legged.
What's up?
I tried not to remember the awkward moment back in the den and tried my best to smooth over what was obviously no longer a lump, if it ever were. Look, I'm sorry about...
Oh, don't even. First of all, you didn't say it. Rick's always put his foot in his mouth. That's what he does. Besides, I get it. I was a crazy bitch back then. It's fine. I'm fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay then, I'll leave it alone. Can I ask you just one question, though? Connie sat up into a more attentive position and narrowed her eyes, not knowing what to expect. What in the world was that move you were doing when I walked in?
Tighten your butt up. Okay, now push. Push up on your toes. Arms flat.
Oh, wow.
No, wait. You almost have it.
Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my back. I bolted onto my side as a massive cramp knotted up my entire upper back. It felt like a heart attack and I couldn't catch my breath. Cramp! The pain was immediately replaced with a firm but smooth rubbing sensation across my back.
Take a deep breath and hold it for 5 seconds.
I did as instructed as Connie Meyer's soft but strong palms massaged my upper back. I continued to flop and spasm like a goldfish on a rug. I was too afraid that if the cramp went away, she would stop touching me.
You flushed all of your electrolytes out last night with all that hard liquor, old man. Just relax. Keep breathing and holding it.
She began giving my back a deep massage, her tiny, strong thumbs digging into my spasming back and shoulders. My cramps began to subside, but chills began to break out all over my skin. Before I realized what was going on, she was sitting on my back and massaging my shoulders and upper spine. All I could do was moan in ecstasy. The pleasure was tainted slightly by awkwardness. As much as I was enjoying myself, I could hear dogs barking outside. I was beginning to worry her husband was home. Besides, we were in a house full of people. Her husband, one of my oldest and at one time closest friends, could simply walk in the front door, take 2 or 3 steps, and bam, there we were having a moment in the workout room. It felt so good, though. There was no way I was going to ask her to stop. I just kept moaning involuntarily.
Shh. Maybe we should stop.
Oh, probably. Oh, my. Oh.
Maybe if we get rid of the others, we can try another position.
My body began to shudder in the same way that a huge glob of super sweet cake icing can make you shudder. She hopped up and my back immediately began to cool off, where just moments before I felt the heat from her charged up and toned up body. And just like that, she was gone. The TV was off, and I was lying there in shame, disbelief, and at the same time feeling like a total stud. James was right. I am her favorite. After a nice long, cold shower, I retreated back to the den to get my head out of the clouds and to remind myself that I am also a married man and that Bobby Baker, aka BB or Bobby B, was still one of my best friends. And there was no way I was going to jeopardize our friendship over... I got that cake icing shiver all over again. Where's Bobby J?
He split.
Where's Rick? Gone. He probably went to stick his head in a hole in the ground, I'm guessing. Well, he deserves it. Where the hell are you going?
Dude, I can't stay here after Rick said that. It's all weird now.
Wait!
I'll see you at the church, all right?
In a matter of seconds, James was driving off. I don't know whether it was fear, excitement, lust, or some combination of the three. I was at a turning point in life, a crossroads. I had to make a decision, a choice. The right thing to do would be to grab my suitcase, throw it in the car, pick up my tux, go to the church, get dressed at the church, and be a good groomsman, and forget everything that happened. That was the plan, at least. I managed to get my suitcase into the car as quietly as possible. The house was at the dead end of a long street. It was a new subdivision, and Bobby and Connie's house was the only one at the end of the street. You could see the other houses, but they were far enough away that you felt a good deal of privacy. The wind was blowing gently across the pool. It was a very nice pool, in fact. I didn't pay much attention to the house when I'd first arrived because all the guys were there and all the catching up we had to do. We went straight to the bar afterwards. I walked over to the pool and dipped my hand into the water. It felt nice. It was a very nice house. I guess I got a bit carried away. I felt my pocket for my phone to see what time it was. I'd left it in the house. I swallowed hard. Okay, just run in, get the phone, and run out. I mean, what am I, a 5-year-old? No, I'm not going to run out like the rest of these cowards. I'm going to tell Connie that I'll see her and Bobby at the church, I'll thank her for the hospitality and the back rub. I'll say goodbye and I'll leave. An hour later, Connie and I were both in the shower. Apparently, Bobby B called and said that he was not going to be able to make the wedding and asked if I would take Connie. We had 30 minutes to get there, but neither of us were dressed. We were trying, but it just wasn't working out that way. It was my idea that we showered together to save time. Besides, we'd already done the worst of it. But we were back at it again. We were not going to make the wedding. Oh no. I have to go. I'm a groomsman.
Oh, please. They have more than enough groomsmen. They just didn't want to leave anyone out, so they asked all of you. We have plenty of time to come up with an excuse.
I'll have to admit, she drives a hard bargain. Okay, so you're saying we can take our time then? I wish I could say I felt guilty. At the time, no. I felt no guilt at all. I refused to let my guilt ruin a perfect day and a perfect evening to come. Of course, it all came crashing down when I heard a light chime radiating from the den. Someone would be asking, "Where are you, bro?" People would be worried. I located my phone and carefully pulled down the notification bar so I could read the messages without them knowing I read the messages. It was Claire, my wife. The text said, "Are you okay? Ricky said you're not at the wedding and you're not answering your phone." Oh no. I suddenly felt sick to my stomach. I sat on the couch and buried my face into my hands. What am I doing? I walked over to the bathroom mirror and stared at my pathetic reflection. I'm in my friend's den, looking into his mirror, wearing his robe. She's not my wife. She's his wife. My wife is worried about me. Oh,
Okay, I got it.
got what?
Just give me 1 second.
Connie began tapping on her phone, and after a few seconds, she received a return text. She then tapped out a reply and simply said,
Okay, we're in the clear. Check your messages.
My phone began to chime repeatedly. The first message was from my wife. "Oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. Just take care of it. Love you." The next message. "Bro, that sucks. Sorry. We will see you later." One after another, I received messages of condolences from my wife and friends. What did you tell them?
We were on our way to the wedding. When we backed out of the driveway, there was a dog under the car. We ran over it, and it's dead. We are very upset. We are trying to find out who the dog belongs to, and we are very sorry, but we're going to have to miss the wedding.
She's good. Too good, I thought.
Hungry?
Still a bit stunned and feeling more and more ashamed, I sat down to have dinner with my friend's wife. Connie was quite the cook. I'd known her for many years, but not like this. This was not the Connie I knew back in high school. Not the Connie I knew in college either. This was a different person. She was so perfect in everything she did, just perfect. I got a bit of an uneasy feeling as I dug into the best meal I'd had in ages. I had to have an extra slice of that tender ham before I even attempted to approach the subject. Okay. I have to ask you something real, if that's okay.
Well, you might want to think about that. I mean, the night is going so well.
No, it's nothing too serious, but, Connie, what What happened? I mean, no offense, but you're not even the same girl I knew years ago. You're so...
Not crazy?
No, I did not mean that at all. But you'll have to admit, there's a pretty big
You want to know what medication I'm on, or do you want to discuss my therapy sessions?
You're serious, aren't you?
Oh, I've always been a serious person, Mark, wouldn't you say? Maybe serious is not the proper word. Maybe a bit high-strung? Is that more suitable?
And there's the Connie that I know. No, look, Connie, I didn't mean...
Oh my God, Mark, I'm just f***ing with you. I'm so sorry. You look so serious.
Oh, thank God. You really had me going there.
No, I mean, I just, after my parents got sick, well, I mean, life's just too short to be tense all the time. But I mean, I do take Prozac, if you must know.
Oh, you didn't have to tell me that. I was just curious, that's all. Sorry to hear about your parents. I didn't know.
So now you do. If you're really sorry, I'll let you do a favor for me. And then I'll do you a favor.
Anything.
Can you bring the other ham out of the basement? It's in the deep freezer.
Sure. I'm on it.
Thank you.
Wow. What was that supposed to...
The ham.
I made my way down the stairs into the basement. I'd like to tell you it was dark and scary, but it wasn't. I mean, come on, it's a brand new house. The basement had better lighting than Walmart. I very easily located a switch just inside the door. The whole room lit up like a photo session. I literally had to take a minute to let my eyes adjust. There was a click behind me as the door closed. I didn't think anything of it at the time. As I got to the bottom of the stairs, I began to notice the precise placement of the lights. Some were on stands. Some had huge white umbrellas fastened to the bodies. I was beginning to believe it was actually a photo studio after all. Nothing unusual, I thought aloud. Now, that was unusual, I said also aloud, after hearing a pig-like snort that echoed briefly around the room. I checked my feet to make sure it wasn't on a rug or something that my feet scraped against. I stood there for a moment looking around the room. Nothing seemed unusual, except for the camera placement. You would expect, with the light-up setting I was looking at, to see a camera or two on tripods somewhere nearby. There were no professional cameras on stands, just lots of lighting. I took another step towards the deep freezer and stopped. This time, I was positive that I heard a pig snort. It was definitely a snort. A somewhat low-definition snort, but nevertheless a snort. A grin stretched across my face when I finally saw the surveillance cameras located in the four corners of the room. The one at the top of the stairs had a small speaker next to it. "Are you spying on me?"
Yes, I'm checking out your ass.
I began to strut around proudly like a peacock, showing off my goods. She began to improvise a silly and really weird sort of documentary as I strutted around and acted out the part.
Watch the little piggy dance. Watch the little piggy strut. Check out that cute little piggy butt. The male pig is a curiously self-centered animal. Grossly unintelligent by nature, the male pig makes up for his stupidity with competence.
Okay, I'm no genius, but I don't think that was a compliment.
When given the simple task of retrieving a side ham from the freezer, the male pig is obligated to disobey and will become easily distracted.
Okay, I get the point. Getting a little bit irritated, I walked up to the freezer. I suddenly got an eerie feeling, but I had no idea what it was.
Now, back on track, the filthy pig reaches his destination. He senses there is something wrong, but his senses are dull and full of doubt. Because, unlike the females, he gets to wander around aimlessly tripping over his own 2 feet. Because the male pig has something the females don't have. Favor among the other pigs. It's disgusting, really. Well, lucky for us, ladies and gentlemen, we get to see how our little piggy reacts when he finds out just how disgusting he really is.
Connie, that's enough. Now this is freaking me out. I ran up to the top of the stairs to find the door was deadbolted and reinforced. I beat on it for a few seconds, but I knew better. Connie, what's going on? Look, did I say something to upset you?
And here we have it, ladies and gentle pigs, the ultimate question. Did I do something wrong? We sit day after day in pain and anguish, and they walk around so oblivious to our pain. They have no idea, do they? Why should they? Even if they do know what it is they did, they don't f***ing care.
Connie, please calm down. I did not mean you.
Typical for a fucking pig. This is another tactic the male pig uses to avoid responsibility, ladies. He will often blame the chaos he caused on the female. You really think I'm angry about a question you asked me? You know what you did last night. All of you. Go to your freezer, you filthy pig. Go! Open it!
Okay, fine. I'll open it, you crazy. What? It was a body. A girl. Her thighs both removed. One was missing. The other carefully wrapped in clear plastic. Why, Connie? I moaned, flipping and sliding around in my own puke.
Why? You want to know why? Ladies and gentlemen, he wants to know why. You already know the answer to that one, you piece of shit. But let me give you a little hint anyway. Go to freezer number 2.
The dark section of the basement suddenly lit up. I very weakly got back onto my feet. There were 5 more freezers. I stood there in front of the next freezer, my head swimming. I fought to keep down what little I had left in my stomach, and the thought of that delicious ham on the side caused me to vomit all over again. Crazy Connie showed me no mercy. I finally got back onto my feet, swaying, dizzy and nauseous, staring at the cold porcelain white mystery box in front of me. Please, Connie, don't do this.